All right. Buenos dias. All the way from beautiful Mexico City, Mexico. No, not really. We're in Bangkok. It is mostly sunny, 82 degrees, high of 90. 10% chance of rain, and today is very humid, 80% humidity, zero wind. Feels like 91 degrees. The air quality is total garbage. It's extremely unhealthy at 162. I wonder how that rates as far as in the world right now. It's not very good. It's at least in the top 25 or so. And the Thai baht is 30.09 to the dollar, which in my opinion is shit. But I think it's going to get worse before it gets better from everything that I've read. Anyway, good morning to everybody. Please, I want to give a thanks to all my Patreon patrons and also all the people who support me on my website and through the YouTube membership. Let me see if this has gone through yet. I did put in the $1.99 membership. It needs to be approved. It's in review right now, so by tomorrow it should be up there. There's $1.99, $3.99, $9.99. And, you get all kinds of little goodies from YouTube. And what else? Try the CASHAPP, try the PayPal, get the shirts, blah, blah, blah. I'm still working on the shirts, updating my merch, but there's plenty of merch to be had even now. And today, I like this topic of the day because it forces me to really come up with one topic to discuss. And you know what? I am so tired of the COVID and of politics. Somebody sent me a message today about the CCP, and really, as far as I'm concerned, like I told him, they can all rot in hell. I don't like what they stand for. They don't like me. I can guarantee you, as an American, they probably do not like me. They will work against me if I was there. So all I can say is, I don't care about them, and I don't care about the politics at this point, whether it be here or elsewhere. So we need to find some other subjects to talk about. Yesterday it was wildlife, captive wildlife, which is just it's a nasty, nasty subject, and it can get you hurt, can get you killed, whether it's here, Africa, wherever it may be. It's not very good. Now, I like this. I got 8 thumbs up and 7 thumbs down. Please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're already subscribed, thank you. Drop me a little line in the chat or in the comments. You know, the thumbs down, I always like those because people are taking the time to watch me and say, I don't like you, or I'm going to click thumbs down just because you're you. And that's okay. You can do that. You're allowed to do that. And, you know, I understand some people don't like me. There's people I don't like. There's people I leave thumbs down for when I do watch them. But usually I do so only if they are, not necessarily if I don't like them, unless they're extremely obnoxious. Mainly it's about the content. And, you know, if you don't like my content, okay, leave a thumbs down. But if you're one of these people who leaves a thumbs down in the beginning because you see MGTOW, I feel sorry for you. Men are allowed to be men. That's the whole thing. Now, I don't understand MGTOW all that well. I'm not of that generation, or, you know, maybe you don't have to be of this generation to understand it. But I don't understand it. I've been married a long time, and for the most part, I am happily married. So, you know, I don't have any problems with women. And, you know, but the only problem that I ever had with them was getting laid. You know, did I get laid enough? Once in a while, you know, I'd have a hot streak, and then every once in a while, I'd have, you know, those times where there was no action. So men going their own way. That's what it is. And let me see here. I've got the definition. It's an acronym for men going their own way. An online social movement. I don't know, but it's only online. And backlash to feminism, where men renounce interactions with women and seek to define and live out their masculinity on their own terms. Now, by the very definition, I have a problem with that. And the reason I have a problem is because why do you have to renounce interactions with women to define and live out your own masculinity on your own terms? I've never understood that. You know, like, I don't have a problem standing up for myself. Now, I'm not in America, but I never had a problem, but I haven't been there in many years. So I know there's a lot of things that I don't consider and that I'm not thinking of, but, you know, I know some of it has to do with, you know, gold diggers and men working, and then, you know, working and supporting the family and all that. And then when they divorce the wife because she screwed around, they've got to pay 50%, or they lose their house or whatever. And so they don't want to interact with women. But, you know, one bad relationship does not make a very good case to renounce women. I mean, I don't understand this. You renounce interactions with women, so what? You never get laid? You know? And I would appreciate it. Listen, if you, good morning to everybody. You got 31 people watching right now, and I've got 2 people that have commented. Please, leave a comment, even if you got nothing to say. Let me know where you are, what you think about MGTOW or whatever. Is it bullshit? Is it something that's necessary? I would say feminism now is, the way I look at it, feminism is a joke. The way that women portray themselves who are feminists nowadays. If you are a feminist in the moderate term, I would say that's okay. You can be a woman who wants equal pay. You know, when she goes into the office and she's doing the same job as anybody else, okay, she should get equal pay. I don't have a problem with that. Where the difference, where the line is drawn, is when women all of a sudden become above men. And I can tell you that I've told something to several women and including my wife, which is that we can be equals. We can look at things and discuss things as equals. And if anything, I don't have a problem with you taking the lead in some areas where you may be more well-versed or knowledgeable than I am, and vice versa. But as far as, like, am I going to kowtow to my wife, to a woman in general, all because she's got a little something between her legs? No, it's not going to happen. If anything, they need to kowtow to me. That's the way I look at it. You can be equal. You can be like this, up and down. But if anybody's going to be up, it better not be the woman. Because if you're a man, what can happen is you get yourself in trouble. And really, listen, women want men to be men. It's a touchy subject now in the United States. From everything that everybody has told me and everything that I've read and everything that I've heard, it's a very difficult subject to broach with women because they feel like, hey, girl power and all that kind of shit. But, when men want to be men, then women degrade them or give them a hard time because of the way that they act. They act like all men are gorillas or something like that. And I've been watching this one particular show, and the women actually, they're like, oh, all he's going to do is sit around, and lift his weights and look at his muscles. No, men do a lot more than that. Even if they do lift weights, that's the whole, if a guy's a bodybuilder, he must be a pea brain. No, that's not necessarily true. Now, maybe some of them are, but that doesn't, just because they're lifting weights or doing a sport doesn't necessarily mean they're an idiot, The men of the MGTOW aim to live their lives with no female contact. In my humble opinion, this is idiocy. Yeah, so, this is the problem. How can you say you're going to be a man living on your own terms when you ain't getting any pussy? Because most men want to get pussy. You want to get laid. It's not rocket science. This is the thing. This time in history, I don't think I've ever seen as much bullshit spinning around on the internet and elsewhere. I saw this video yesterday, somebody sent it to me, where this 2-year-old kid, didn't want to put on the mask in an airplane, sitting with its mother and father. They booted off all three of them. And then they said, can we upgrade to first class so maybe we have a little more space and, we can work things out with the kid, blah, blah, blah. No, you've been banned from United Airlines. So, somebody's not thinking here. You got a kid who's 2 years old, and they're kicking these people off. And it's like, oh, sorry, can't do anything. Yes, you can. You can say, listen, you got 5 minutes. You're going to have to get the kid to put the mask on. We understand. Go in the bathroom, have a little chat with the little thing, and get the mask on. And if the kid doesn't want to wear the mask, it is our policy. We need to give you the boot. Well, you're going to have to sit somewhere alone. We're going to have to put you somewhere else or do something. You're going to have to figure something else. But to kick them off, all three of them off, seemed a bit extreme to me. So anyway, this is the mentality of, I guess, I don't want to say our culture because it's not really my culture anymore. It used to be. And I've forgotten a lot of it, and there's a lot of it now that I look at it and I go, what? That's not... Somebody said something the other day that they don't remember. They don't recognize America as it is today. Because it was much different when they were there growing up than it is today. And from what I see online, that's the truth. Listen... I went into the grocery store. I've told this story before a while back. Went into the grocery store with my mother once. And we go to the butcher. And there's nobody at the place is pretty empty. This is years ago, a couple years ago. Go into the butcher. There's nobody behind the counter. We're like, finally this lady walks out. Oh, she's talking about, the lady's talking about how she doesn't speak English. And I said, she doesn't speak English. And she said, no. There's a lot of people here, they don't speak English. I said, I understand that, but why don't they hire somebody? This is fucking America. Why don't they hire someone who speaks English, right? My mother says, shh. You want to have a big problem? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you can't say that. I'm like, what do you mean? I can say whatever the fuck I want. I didn't say fuck, but I said I can say whatever I want. What are you talking about? This is America. Why don't they have somebody who speaks English behind the counter? This is not a Latino neighborhood. This is how it is now. I'm like, son of a bitch. I can't even talk about it? It's ridiculous. Really. It's just ridiculous. That's how the world is, and that's how the United States is. And, one of the other topics I was going to talk about is the United States headed for the toilet. I mean, it's already on its way down, in my opinion. It doesn't look very good for the United States, the way things are going. And I'm damn glad I don't live there. That's all I can say. I'm damn glad I don't live there. But getting back to the subject, see, I don't know why you put that in quotes, because that is not what it's about. It's about keeping relationships with women casual. If it were as you described, then of course it's idiocy. Well, I don't know where he got that definition, but I can tell you that just on dictionary.com, it says it's a online social movement and backlash to feminism where men renounce interactions with women and seek to define and live out their masculinity on their own terms. Now, maybe that definition is not 100% correct. I could understand that. And if men are just saying, oh, well, we don't want to have any interactions with women, well, that's just stupid. I'm not MGTOW, but I think you're trying to portray the extreme of it. I put it in quotes because it took it directly off the internet, blah, blah, blah. I like and encourage more to be MGTOW. Better odds for me if more men abstain from women. Yeah. Listen, I've been watching all these shows on Netflix. It's what I do before I go to sleep every night. I turn my phone on, turn the computer on, and watch some show on Netflix, whether it's a movie or whatever. But I did see this Love Island, which I'd never heard of it before a couple days ago, and I saw this Love Island Australia. Listen, the women were good-looking women. I got to admit, they were very good-looking women. But man, were they hardcore. And, this goes for both the United States and Australians. I'm not picking on Australians. They were hardcore, man. Like, one chick was like, if he doesn't have a boat, I don't think I can date the guy. I'm like, why don't you get your own fucking boat, honey? Why does the man have to get the boat? If you want a fucking boat so bad, get your goddamn boat. Buy it yourself. Most smart men who have a little bit of money know that boats, what do they say? The two best days of owning a boat are the first day when you get it and the last day when you get rid of it. I'm all for men being men, but why do you have to have an organization that says we need to be men? What do you have to have that for? We need to define and live out our masculinity on our own terms. The fuck are you talking about? I don't need some fucking organization to tell me how to do that. Now, maybe some men need that. What does he have to fucking link it for? What does it matter? Jesus Christ, if he says that, what does it matter? Fucking more bullshit. It really doesn't matter. Search the fucking quote. That's all you got to do. And you should be able to find it somewhere. It's really simple. Okay? Now, I'm looking at the definition on Wikipedia, and it says an anti-feminist, misogynistic, mostly online community. Wait a minute. Isn't that what my channel is? Advocating for men to separate themselves from women and from a society which they believe has been destroyed by feminism. I don't think it's been destroyed by feminism, but I think there are some major changes needed. The community is a part of the manosphere, a collection of anti-feminist websites and online communities that also includes the men's rights movement, incels, and pickup artists. You know, the whole pickup artist. All right, I understand if you're some guy who doesn't know how to interact with women. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I forgot all about that. You can't put, you know. That's right, it's not a fucking court. It's a fucking kingdom, and it's mine. God damn it. This is not a democracy on this channel. I hate to tell you guys. I love it how, you know, this. I knew that, first of all, just the acronym MGTOW is going to spark some negative sentiments. Because there are a lot of people. And listen, I'm not somebody who's saying, oh, I'm all for MGTOW. No, what I am is I'm all for men being men and standing up for themselves. Listen, if my wife was to tell me, you have to give me everything that you have and sell it all and give me all the money and I want it all and you can't have any of it and that's how you show you love me, I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Wake up, honey. You know, like that ain't gonna happen. You know. Why don't you sell all your shit and give it to me? Then I know how much you love me. And we'll see who has more. You know what I mean? Like, we're having a conversation, so don't be an asshole. Okay? There's no reason for that. The guy fucking said he did it. He got it from a fucking website. Where do you think he got it from? Out of his head? He just wrote it up himself? Somehow, knowing him, I don't think so. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Seeing that you've never said one word in this chat, and he said a hell of a lot, and I know how he tends to think, that's my sentiment. There you go. There it is now. We can have a conversation, but just because somebody puts something in quotes and you don't like what they say, doesn't mean that we have to do things your fucking way. Okay? So get the fuck over it. That's all I got to say. Because I don't have the fucking patience for your bullshit. If you don't like it, get the fuck, take a fucking hike. Leave your thumbs down, hit the fucking road, and shut the fuck up. That's how we roll in this motherfucker, okay? Let me just make it real easy for you. Fucking cunt. Always got to be some cunt disrupting shit. All because of your quotes, and you're saying that you don't agree with the definition. I'm just telling you what he's telling you what the definition that he found was. I'm telling you the definition of what I found. You see? There it is. You know what I'm saying? Where is it? Let me read this here. You know, like when I see this, like the pickup artists, these guys talking about all this shit. Fucking pickup artists. Listen, women know. Women know. Hey, yes, I want to bang you. Hey, yes, I like you. Hey, yes, I might want to get to know you. They know that almost immediately. Sometimes, it's like, hey, that guy was pretty nice. He's all right. Or maybe they even think he's a bit arrogant. He's a bit of an asshole. And then a little while later, they might be like, you know what? He's a hunk, and I really like him. He's actually a pretty nice guy. And then, and this is the thing. This is the bottom line. Men want to bang women. Usually, they want to bang women more than women want to bang men. And I don't mean that women don't want it, but I mean women are not as visual. They keep it in check. At least some of them do. Men are led around by, most men think with their dicks. I mean, Now, I do see a book here, which I don't know if it's any good or not. Let me see here. It's called The Predatory Female, a Field Guide to Dating in the Marriage Divorce Industry. 1992. Holy sheep shit. This book was written almost 30 years ago. It's by Reverend Lawrence Shannon, in case anybody wants to know. All right. It's funny he doesn't comment anymore, and I didn't ban him. I didn't ban you, Hop Frog. What's the matter? You don't like having a fucking conversation? What the fuck? Listen, I told myself the other day, I'm too fucking nice. I don't have to use bad words. I'm too nice. I'm too understanding. I'm too lenient and tolerant. I don't have to be. That's the thing. I don't have to be fucking tolerant if I don't want to be. If I want to be, I will be. And you know, I was thinking about something. There have been a number of people who have said to me, wow, you know, everybody wants to take care of the animals, that they don't want to take care of the people who are homeless. And listen, the animals didn't do a fucking thing wrong. The homeless, generally, there's a reason why people are homeless. May not be their fault, but, you know, they may have a part in it. The animals don't have a fucking part in it. A soy dog, who happens to be a soy dog, who's got the shit beat out of him, doesn't have anything to do with being a dog. He's just a dog. Minding his own fucking business, yelping and barking and trying to bang other women. You know. Other bitches. I'm allowed to say that. You know. Saying all men doesn't work that way. Well, you know what I always wonder about, I still tell women that they look very nice in that dress and that outfit, or that their new hairstyle looks very nice. If they're offended, I will have them look you up, Hop Frog. Listen, that's the thing. There's a lot of places where, you know, this is the thing. Maybe in America, you're not allowed to say those things in the workplace. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I never take enough footage, and to me, it was a piece of shit. But I showed a little bit of what goes on with the elephants in it. That's all right. You know, I could have made it a lot better. I need somebody to help me a little bit, you know, but that's where somebody, you know, Nikki and and Alex could have helped, or somebody else. The point is the thing was out in the middle of the field by itself in the hot sun. No water. He couldn't get to the water. And then he's called obstinate. He's called stubborn and difficult and, you know, problematic. What the fuck do you expect from some animal that is chained up all the time and has to carry people around on its back day in and day out? And it's a smart animal. It's not a stupid animal, you know. Yeah, Merry fucking Christmas to everybody, and Happy fucking New Year. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. What's the one with the... Hang on a second. Festivus. We can't forget Happy Festivus. Okay? Festivus for the rest of us. We can't forget that. Now, this is the thing. I remember, and I used to do it. I used to bang chicks at the workplace. That was a long time ago, though. That was, you know, 30, 35 years ago. Even 40 years ago. You know, I admit it. I did it. Shoot me. You know, I meet some chick. Oh, she's cute. Wow. Oh, okay. Hey, what's going on? Oh, you're cute. Hey, are you single? You know, what's going on? And you want to go and have a drink after work? Okay. You go out, have a drink. Maybe you go home with them. Maybe, you know, you don't. Maybe you meet them over at their place later on, and then, you know, something happens, and before you know it, you got a little three-day love affair going on. Nowadays, I don't know that... I'm sure there's people that still do it. And personally, I think, okay, listen, if it doesn't affect your relationship professionally, then why couldn't you? Why shouldn't you? you know. But I do believe don't shit where you eat. Don't dip your pen in the company ink well, you know, that kind of thing. But you know, you can't even say, "Hey, hi, how you doing, honey?" And what's so funny? Now I don't know how it is in Australia, but what's so funny is on this show, Love Island, Australia. This one particular guy, everything is darling, sweetheart, okay, darling, you know, and it's like, man, what's wrong with that? You know, what is wrong with that? I don't see it. To me, it's not a big deal. Here's the thing: if a woman says, "Please don't call me darling. I'm not your darling." Okay. Okay, fine. Don't call her that. But if she doesn't mind, honey, whatever, what does it matter? She might call you honey. Is it that big of a deal where you're going to make a guy lose his job? We're going to charge him with sexual harassment and all this kind of shit. I don't see it. Because, you know, the thing is if a woman does it, it's okay. Now, I have to say, in most cases, it's okay. And the reason I say that is because back in the day, I used to work at a spa company. I ran the print shop in a spa company. The boss was, a bit emotional. But all in all, a pretty smart guy. He had built his company from nothing. And every year he would give the employees, he would give them a cruise. And a bonus of like 2 weeks. 2-week bonus for Christmas. And he would give them a cruise. And that's when I went to Cabo San Lucas, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta. Okay? And so everybody used to go and party, and people were banging each other. Now, I also met a woman that used to work at the main branch. We ended up boyfriend and girlfriend. You know, we went out one night, went out for dinner, had a couple drinks, a few shots of tequila. Next thing you know, I like you, you like me. Boom. Right? Now, the reason I bring this company up is because he used to have a woman working for him who was like third in charge. The guy's wife was like second in charge. He had a woman working for him. Her name was Maria. Okay? And they had a large population of Mexicans who were working, building some of the spas. That was the factory. Everything else was like I was at one of the showrooms, but at the showroom was a long building, and there was an area for the print shop. So that's where I was. And then I had to distribute everything from the print shop. But this woman, Maria, I guess she liked the guy who was in charge of all the workers. He was another Mexican guy, but he was a very intelligent guy. Spoke English, spoke Spanish. Obviously, he was a Mexican guy. And a big, tall, strapping guy. Nice guy, And he was on, I think it was Oprah or one of these shows, because he charged her with sexual harassment and he won. She went after him and she basically forced him to have sex with her in order to keep his job. She wasn't the worst looking thing, but that doesn't really matter. If a woman wants to be like that or a guy wants to be like that, the looks I don't think it factors in. It's the emotional control and that kind of thing. Anyway, I don't know how he did it. I don't remember. It's been 35 years or so. But he made note of everything. And then he ended up suing her for sexual harassment because she eventually fired him and said, oh, he was a bad worker, blah, blah, blah. He noted every time that he was with her, everything that she said. He had everything written down. They went to court, and the guy won. There is no fucking PC on this channel. Listen. And you know what? That's one of the many reasons why I have PayPal and Patreon and all that other stuff. not that they are, anti-PC, but they allow for somebody who is not PC. And, if you really want to hear somebody, and I think the guy's great, his name is Pat Condell. I think he's Irish. And he, I don't know if he's still on YouTube or not. I think some of his videos are still on. Funny as hell. But he talks about Islam. He talks about the political leaders, and he's smart. And he talks about women and, masculinity and femininity and feminism and all these kind of things. And guess what? I'm pretty sure he got the boot off of YouTube. They kept pulling his videos down. So what's the good? What good is it to put your videos up if they keep pulling them down? She laughed and said, "No way." I said, 1981. She said, "Oh my God, you look great for your age. Should I turn her into HR? Yes. What's good for the goose is good for the gander." She took my number plate, waited for me before and after class from Korea. I think it was Kim. Listen, that's funny you say that, because when I was 18 years old, I was in New Mexico. And I had this Korean girl she was a little spinner. Am I allowed to say that? Oh yeah, it's my channel. I can say whatever I fucking want. She was a spinner. And she seemed very cool. And, I was seeing her off and on. I hadn't banged her. I wanted to, but the first night she said, no, I'm not that kind of girl. All that kind of stuff. And so a couple of days later, I met some other girl. And she and I were going at it hot and heavy. And so I just ignored the Korean girl. I just stopped all contact, and I was like, I guess you'd call that ghosting nowadays. Yeah, but he didn't want to bang her. That's the thing. He did not want to bang this lady. She was an older woman. She's probably 40 years old, and he was about 22, 23, which that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but she wasn't that hot. And I think he had a girlfriend or something. I don't know. Anyway, oh God, she loved you. It's funny you say that, because what happened was, one day I had some other girl over. I went with this one hot and heavy, and I just thought, well, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. And there was another one, and I just remember this still. She always smelled like lemony powder, like a lemony perfume powder. And I thought, oh, she smells so good. Every time she'd come over, I'd just be like, oh man, this girl smells good. And I ended up banging the chick. And I'm in bed with her, and I hear this banging on the banging on the door, the front door. And it was this Korean girl, and she's crying. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I haven't even been banging you. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. We just dated a couple of times. Hola, everybody. Hola, talk back. And so, I had to tell her, hey, honey, I got somebody here. You shouldn't be coming over unannounced. If I want to talk to you, I'll give you a call. Jesus Christ, the chick kept coming around, and I had this other girl who I ended up with, and, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Oh, I got this little Korean girl who's stalking me. She's about 90 pounds. I'm worried she's going to kill me. Now, she was a nutcase because she was, for some reason she was madly in love with old Scotty, back in the day when, I was young and handsome and virile as hell, and I could handle, 7 different women in 3 days or something. You know what I mean? Like, it was, juggle them. I could do all that. Because I thought it was just like, it was all about getting it in as many as you could. I didn't care about most of them. And I would tell them that. I never was like a liar to them. I'd say, listen, all I want to do is have some fun, honey. All I want. Why is it, a girl, what's it, Sheryl Crow? She can sing, all I want to do is have some fun. Well, that was me. All I wanted to do was have some fun. I just wanted to, explore. What is this woman like? What's that woman like? How is she? I wanted to learn what I liked and what I didn't like. I was young. I'm allowed. Men are allowed to be men. Now, I don't think you should be lying and bullshitting the women and promising them the world. Oh, honey, I'll marry you tomorrow. I don't think that that's okay. Used to hold, what is this? Used to hold the umbrella. God damn it. Used to hold the umbrella. What is this? I can't even read it. Used to hold the umbrella for me when it rained. I said, no, it's okay. I'm fine. Oh, it is my duty. She said, what the fuck? Thank you, Talkback Thailand live streaming. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Choke D, and good luck for you all of the day and all of the night. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let me think about where I was right now. And what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to apologize for that shit? Is a man supposed to apologize? Because, listen, I remember when I was young. I still remember. It's not like I'm that old. I do remember some things. I remember when I had hair, I was thin, fit, and chicks, it would be like I'd just take my shirt off and run around, and some chick would give me her number, and maybe I'd call her up, and next thing I know, I'm in bed with her. What am I supposed to do? Apologize for that? You know what I mean? What is a man supposed to do? Oh, no, I don't want that. I'm not that kind of a guy. She's a gorgeous girl. She's young. She's fit. She's horny. You're horny. All I want to do is have some fun. What is this? Chris Mock. I mean, sex is good and all, but you don't need to commit for that. No, you don't. When it comes down to it, I ask myself, what a woman brings to the table. Exactly. How does it improve my life? Most women I've met make my resources smaller and my life more restricted. I think I was talking to Jono or somebody else. I think it was Jono, though, and I said, when somebody gets involved with another person, how come they, especially in Thailand, why don't they think she has a job? She's set. She's working towards something, and while she's not real well off, she's okay. She doesn't need me to survive. But what most guys do here and many other places is they get the girl who really needs them, as opposed to, hey, maybe, I don't need her and she doesn't need me, but we want each other. I'm a man, I want you. You're a woman and you want me. It's not about the money, it's not about this, it's not about that. It's about you and I have something that makes us, stink on shit. You can't get enough of each other. You want to stay with each other. And then, listen, think about something. And I always tell my wife about this. And I always tell her, well, maybe it'll be with phones instead of newspapers. But think about the old guy. He's like 70, 80 years old. He's sitting in a cafe or his dinner table, lunch, whatever, breakfast, having breakfast at the kitchen table or whatever. And he's got the newspaper up, he's reading it. Or he's got his phone up and he's reading it. And across from him is his wife. And she's doing the same thing. Because they don't really have anything much to talk about. They don't need to, oh baby, I love you so much. You're the most beautiful girl. They don't have to do that. You know why? Because they've already done it. If you look at some guys who's 70 and 80 years old, if you talk to a guy who's being frank with you, who's like 80 years old, of course they're going to tell you, yeah, when I first met your mother, when I first met my wife or whatever, we couldn't get our hands off each other. Things were different back in the day, Think about how it was in the 60s and 70s, and now, look how it is. Fuck, you can't even say anything. If I forget how to refer to somebody, I can go to jail. I can be sued. What the fuck? And you wonder why I want to live in Thailand? And listen, Thailand's got its share of issues and problems. You know, every time I walk through the cosmetics department and see some big old linebacker that's dressed up like a lady, I wonder, what the fuck am I doing here? You know, why is it like this here? Is it in the water or something? Is it because of tolerance? And then I just think, what the fuck does it matter? I'm not buying anything from them. You know. And I've told this story before about 7-Eleven. I go into this one 7-Eleven, and there is, I don't know what you call it. I don't know what the technical phrase is, but you can tell it used to be a guy. And now it's like supposed to be a woman. But you're going, no, it doesn't work. It's scary. To me, I walk up and I go, God damn. What the fuck? You know, I'm like, scares the hell out of me. Because I'm used to, there is the man and there is the woman. There is not like, you know, if it's in a drag show or something and you're trying to be funny, I understand it. I've never understood it. But you know what? I don't go around bashing a fucking person. And, you know, I don't say I renounce all contact with these people. No, I just do my own thing. And, you know, it's not like I got friends that are, you know, a handful of friends that are all in-betweeners. You know what I'm saying? So there is a choice. Women have a choice, too. Guy calls him honey. You go, hey, listen, you know what? I'd appreciate it if you don't call me honey. Now, if the guy keeps calling him honey, eventually she's got to be a bitch. She's got to go, hey, listen, you call me honey again, I'm going to fucking rip your testicles off. But, you know, some women can't do that. They can't bring themselves to do that. They're too ladylike or whatever it is, you know. What is this here? I got to read some of these comments here. At the end, I went back to management. One of the female staff spoke to her, and she cried and never came back. Oh, well. She cried and said, I can't help it. I love him. Oh, Jesus. Here's the thing. You know, this is another topic. Love. Love. What is that song? What is love? Why do you hurt me? Oh, yeah. Something like that. What the hell is love? You know, I mean, like, really. This girl says, oh, I love him. She probably doesn't even fucking know you. But she loves you. No, she might think, hey, I wonder if he's got a big old Schwarzenheimer. I want to jump on it, and I want to try him out. Why doesn't he like me? Then she gets pissed off because you don't like her. When I ignored her, she got louder and louder in class, made shrieking noises and silly laughs, started wearing bandanas. She sounds like she's a basket case. Which, you know, Monash, she's coming after you. She's acting like this. What do you think? You think she sounds normal? Started a channel 10 years after to tell about his life. Took me 6 weeks before I sought help, but it got worse. Now I thought, if a female teacher had the same problem, it would have been front page news, probably. Maybe you should just... No, I don't think you should have. Don't want to put that channel name in here, but you would find it interesting. Can I share it with you somewhere? Sure, no problem. Only that I did not take action earlier. You are an honorable man. Hello, Talkback Thailand. Doesn't Steve teach the mentally disabled kids? You were never in my class long. Linebacker dressed as a lady. Well, some of them are. Some of them you're like, that's a chick, right? Is that really a chick? And then, you know, you go, oh, look at the size of that Adam's apple. No, it's not. They hate us so much, yet want to be like us and do like we do. Tweeners, yes, tweeners. Next thing, they will want to get a haircut at the barber's. Well, you know, this is what I say. If they really want that equality, then it's got to be across the board. Get in a fucking boxing ring. A chick, 135 pounds, gets in there with a guy, 135 pounds. And if the guy knocks you the fuck out and rearranges your face, don't bitch to me. And vice versa. If the guy gets knocked out and gets his face rearranged by a chick, fair's fair, you know. What's love got to do? Got to do with it. Yeah, but a second hand. Now you're thinking of, I'm thinking of, what was that? It was in A Night at the Roxbury. That song. Let me see if I can find it. You're talking about Tina Turner. Let me see here. Yeah. What is love? Don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. It's by a group named Hadaway. Wow, he's got a lot of big hits. Fair number. I mean, is he still alive, this guy? Oh, he's a Trinidadian, born in Cologne, Germany. Oh shit. Yeah, it looks to me like he's still alive. Well, that's good. And here he is with Vladimir Klitschko. Oh, interesting. On the golf course, you wouldn't think that this guy who wrote this song would be like on the golf course and. Let's see. Where did I get this feeling? She must have got my number from the burger stand. What? These days, I can honestly say there are many women who could beat my ass. Well, obviously, the older you get, and depending on the types of women that you're talking about, there's always women out there that will beat your ass. I like the boy-girls at the drugstore. It's very scary. You want to leave and unclench your ass cheeks. Yeah, there are times when I see some of them, and I don't want to say I'm scared, like I'm scared they're going to hurt me. It's not like that. I'm scared like, holy shit, oh, God. And I'm not a religious person, but I'll be like, oh, God, what the fuck? And I empathize with them. I have some empathy for them. Because I'm like, you know what, if I believe, and I could be wrong, but a lot of the people who, and somebody can tell me if this is right or wrong, but I believe a lot of the people that have these gender identity crises tend to be people who have been sexually abused or physically abused in some way, something like that. So, one of the biggest fears of mine, growing as a father, seeing my boys grow up, was that, like, they're going to turn out and, they're going to be like, dude looks like a lady or something like that. Now, Alex has long hair because he wants to be like a rocker, but it has nothing to do with, the gender identity. Now, talking about that, let's see here. Let's get back to the subject at hand because I could just ramble on. We want to stick to the subject, to the topic. And I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of hate for some of the topics I'm going to bring up in the next few weeks. And you know what? That's okay. Fucking hate me all you want. I don't give a shit. There's always going to be somebody who hates me, and most of them are a bunch of little pencil dick fat fucks out in the middle of nowhere or in mama's fucking basement. Probably fucking... Who knows what the fuck they're doing. Anyway, let's go on here. This is Thailand. Here's another. What's up the road? What's that up on the road ahead? What's that up on the road ahead? Oh, ahead. Yes, I see. From the documentary about 10 years ago. All right, I'm losing my way here. Anyway, let's get back to the MGTOW stuff. Men going their own way is a statement of self-ownership. Now, I like that. Although, why don't you have a self-ownership without having to call yourself a MGTOW? Where the modern man preserves and protects his own sovereignty above all else. Okay, I can understand that. But why do you need MGTOW to tell you to protect yourself at all costs? You're supposed to love yourself first and, all these other kind of things. And, be confident in yourself one way or the other. Listen, I don't think anybody is confident 100% of the time. But you know what? The confidence that I think a lot of people have and that I have is that whether it sucks or not, sometimes you just have to do it. Whether you like it or not, there are things you have to do. That's what I tell my kids every time it comes time to clean the toilets. I go, I know you don't like doing this, but guess what? Somebody's got to do it, and it ain't going to be me. You got to do it, so just get it done. It is a manifestation of one word, no. All right, I don't understand that. Ejecting silly preconceptions and cultural definitions of what a man is. Looking to no one else for social cues. Refusing to bow, serve, and kneel for the opportunity to be treated like a disposable utility. And living according to his own best interest in a world which would rather he didn't. In other words, common sense for men. You know what? Sorry. And this is MGTOW.com. It's got 32,768 distinguished members. Now, I'm going to say that that's probably because they became members of this site. I don't know. You know, can you become? How do you? Oh, yeah, join. Let me see here. $25 a month, $10 a month, $5 a month. What is it? We're currently performing a site-wide upgrade to all pages and features. A rather massive undertaking. Joining will resume once we have confirmed. Blah blah blah. All right, so you can't even join right now. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't tell you how much it is. Whatever. To the manipulated man. I'm looking at their forum. Budding Indian actor drugged and murdered by gold-digging girlfriend. I don't know. That's why you take the time to get to know your women. I mean, Jesus Christ, you know. What is this? Men going their own way all the way to Patsy. Listen, I may not particularly like Patsy because I just don't like dealing with the whole, hey, where you come from? What's your name? How long you stay Pattaya? You have girlfriend? You have lady Thai? I don't want to hear all that shit. You know, this is the thing. I don't even want to talk to them. So if you don't even want to talk to them, and I know a lot of guys who are like that, I don't even want to talk to these women. They don't want to give them the fucking time of day. You know why? Because they either got a woman or they don't fucking want one. So you don't need MGTOW to tell you that shit. You know. But if you're a guy with money, wouldn't you run the fucking tests on your girls? Don't you have tests? I mean, Jesus Christ. I've had money, not had money, not had money. And I always ran the fucking tests. Hey, I'm taking you to fucking Arby's tonight. Let's just go to Arby's. It's quick. It's easy. And I really like their fucking roast beef sandwich. If the bitch is complaining, see you later, honey. But if it's a wonderful evening, then the next date it might be like, hey, I'm taking you out for lobster. You know? And then the thing is, then the next one is like, all right, where are you taking me, honey? Where are you going to take me out? This is the thing. A lot of guys aren't going to do that. Oh, you know, the man always has to take the woman out. I'm old school. I'm very traditional. I've got to open the door for her. Listen, you should open the door for her or a guy. If you're first in line, you hold the door open, you keep it open for the person. That's just being polite. But you know what? If you're behind the woman, you don't have to sprint up ahead of her and, allow me to get the door for you, my lady. You know. And as far as holding the chair out, all right, listen. If you're in a formal setting, she's a nice chick, you've been with her for a little while, you shouldn't even take her to a nice restaurant unless you know that she's worth taking there. So this is the thing. You have all these little stepping stones to have her run through before she even gets to the places where she can have your ass. So what's the problem? No, you know, sometimes, listen, you get a deal on the lobster. You cook it yourself. You got the pads empty. It's just you and her. And you know, I pull this one off. I give her some lobster. By the time she's done with all this food, my appetizer and the lobster, couple of bottles of wine. Oh, sweetie, you shouldn't be driving home. If you want, you can sleep on the sofa. Next thing you know, I don't want to sleep in the sofa. I want to sleep with you. Okay, I guess if you must. You know what's so funny? You got MGTOW, right? It's supposed to be for men. And you got women who complain about being exploited or whatever. But, think about it. How many times has anybody in this chat said to a woman, why don't you just come over and we'll watch some TV and maybe, order some Chinese food or we'll make up something. But just come over and we'll watch some TV. You know damn well you're not there to watch TV. You may be watching TV for a little while, but, how many times have guys pulled that off? One thing I used to do here is I just be like, oh, you want to learn some English? I tell you what, you come over to my apartment. I'll teach you some English and you teach me some Thai. Oh, okay. Or they might be like, I don't know. Keep the door open. It's no problem. And I have never taught English here in Thailand. How can I say this tactfully? Every time I taught English, it ended up in a little bit more. Think about that. Every time. So if she wanted to come, at least here, they wanted to come over, yeah, they might want to learn to speak English, but they also want something else. They didn't just come over and go, okay, my 1 hour is up. I'm going to leave now. Bye. Oh, bye. No, they didn't do that. And these were not ladies of the evening. These were, regular chicks. So, it goes both ways. Girls can't have it like, well, I want to get laid when I want, and the guy, guys are not going to say no to me. And then the guy says no, and they get pissed off. Well, you know what? How many guys have got pissed off because they think the girl is, leading them on, and they think they're going to get a little something, and then they, it turns out they're not. So it goes both ways. All this stuff goes both ways. This is the thing. I don't have a problem with women being strong and wanting to earn as much money as some guy or more because she's valuable. That's fine. You want to play football, professional football? Go on, play your football. Play. But the first minute that you get smashed by some guy about 290, 6'5", 290, he runs the 40 in like a 2.8 seconds. And he steamrolls your little ass. And now you can't have kids because he shattered your ovaries from the shock of hitting you. Don't bitch to me. Yeah, take her to Rap God. Rap God. I told Nicholas, I said, the worst fucking place I've been that I can remember in Thailand. I can't remember going and having a worse meal than at that place. Now, I may actually go and try a quesadilla just to see what it's like, or a taco to see if they can pull it off. But I don't think it's going to work. It's not one of my favorite joints. I like the old days at the drive-in. Speaker in the window, bucket seats reclined, car going up and down, and no idea what the movie is about. Yeah. Those were the days. My buddy, I had a buddy who had a van, and he used to let me borrow his van anytime I wanted to take a chick out because the car I had at the time was not very nice, and I had a motorcycle. He would let me do that, and then, he would just clean up after yourself. Yeah, all right, no problem, And, there's something to be said about sitting in a car with a chick at the drive-in. Yeah, they had it down in the 50s. Listen, it's not like people don't want to have sex. Most people who aren't emotionally traumatized want to have sex. Now, if you're a little older, that drive might diminish a little bit. But, if you're 25 years old, 20 years old, 18, 16 years old. You know, you're a teenager. You know, you're going to want to have some popcorn with condensed sweetened milk. Okay? Because that shit works with everything. Even dry-ass bagels. To this day, I will never forget that. Sweetened condensed milk on a bagel. I can't even find a bagel in Fresh Mart. I tell you that. Here in Thailand, I can't find it in Fresh Mart. I have to go somewhere else like Villa Market or maybe Foodland or something like that. You can't find the burritos anymore. I used to get these frozen burritos that were the bomb. My kids loved them. And it was fantastic because I would get, you know, like, I think they came 3 to a pack, and I'd get like 4 packs. And there'd be like 2 of one kind, 2 of another kind. Throw them in the freezer, right? The kids would come home from school. I'd be like, you guys hungry? Yes. Boom. Put those things in the microwave. 5 minutes later, they're chowing up. Oh, this is good, man. Oh. Did you make this? Yeah, I made it. It's fantastic, isn't it? You know. What is this little thing? My eyes are getting terrible. Oh, it's a little smiley face. I can't even see that without my glasses. Anyway, so let's read a little bit more about MGTOW. The Bachelor Lifestyle. I have all the... Wait a minute. Let me see if I can go into this here. I have all of the above. I am not a blue pill. Oh, you have to be logged. Okay. Wait a minute here. Here we go. How can I add this to the topic? Because everybody said this one. In fact, I learned some things. So I'll just tell you what I think ought to work for you, even if it's already been said. No wife, no kids, no major debts. Pursue your hobbies and passions. Build a man cave or man zones with your favorite treasures and collections. Save your money for a better home or car. Stay healthy, eat right, work out, and watch workout videos on YouTube. Stay out of trouble from the law. Okay, and how about like bang chicks? Where's that? Why is that not in the equation? You got all these things, and you don't want any women? Let me see here. Let me go up to the top and read this here. Oh, they're giving them the hard time here. I'm 36, no kids, and looking for a better way of going about living. All relationships have failed. Help me out with advice, please. How about you take your fucking time in a relationship? Don't get involved too quickly. Don't worry about it. Don't put too much weight on it, and let it happen naturally. That's my advice. I'm 34, no kids. I never had anything that lasted more than a year. Not much can be offered for you. There are millions of us. Hundreds of millions. No, there's not. I could explain to you exactly what happened on a micro and macro level, sociologically, biologically, and technologically, but that will not take the pain of your loneliness or the anger at the era that we live in. Well, now I am angry at the era that we live in. I don't like the era we live in. I wish I could live in another era. There's a good topic right now. What is the best era to live in? If you're going to continue the pursuit of female company, then my advice is easy does it. Okay, that's always good advice. Try not to cohabitate or share bank accounts. And no way. If you're that fucked up and you want to really make a go of it, you need to not be in a relationship, a full-on relationship for at least 6 months to a year, and don't think of moving in for at least a couple of years or getting married or anything like that. Let them show all their cards. In fact, just expect it to be an open relationship no matter what she says. Do not think like a romantic boy and believe that your lovey-dovey feelings are reciprocal. They aren't, because she will turn on you and hurt your vulnerability badly. They might. You got to be prepared for that. The same thing to do is just to ghost them all, pursue yourself, and take good care of yourself. Get to know... What? Oh, get to know him. Get to know yourself. Nurture what makes yourself grow. Do not slide into substance abuse or depression. Avoid suffering. Pursue happiness. Wet vagina access is not going to provide happiness. It doesn't? I think it does. Doesn't vagina provide happiness? Doesn't dick provide happiness to women? I mean, honestly, doesn't it? I think it makes people happy. I think that's why so many people are fucking. This is happening on a macro level. You are not alone. We are here. Work on you, bro. Expand your mind. Invest in your hobby. Stay out of debt. Okay, all those are good. Your freedom isn't worth 10 minutes of sticky friction. 10 minutes? That's it? Without a gas draining your money, resources, and time, you can retire at 50 and enjoy life. Okay, but here's the thing. Why do they have to drain your resources? Why would you let them? I don't understand all this mentality. Why would you let a chick drain your fucking resources? You take her out a couple of times, and then you tell her, hey, listen, why don't you take me out, sweetie? Darling, why don't you take me out? How about we go Dutch? What's wrong with that? You got a job? You got a job? How about you take me out? In fact, that's what a smart guy will do. A smart guy will work on the woman and make sure she knows straight away, hey, this is a fitty-fitty. Yeah, I hate that too. But that's what it says. This is hilarious stuff, though. There's a lot of stuff going on that is causing hardship for men. Legislatively, okay, I agree with that. Culturally, yeah. Traditionally, I think we can get past that. Biologically, well, a stiff dick has no conscience, or brain. But I want to illustrate one thing that's been particularly devastating for relationships in the last 10 years. It falls in the technology side of things. Dating apps. Please read forward an example of why this is very bad for our species. Now, I imagine that is a problem. I don't particularly like dating apps. I've never used one. And I guess the only thing that I would ever use one for if I was single is just to get my weasel greased. That's about it. We call it the 80-20 rule. 80% of women screwing, only 20% of men. Okay, but, that's why you got to be a man. Because most women know if a man is a man, or they know he's a little simp who's going to get stepped on. And, it's one thing to be nice, but you need to be nice and let them know, in a subtle, indirect way. Like, yeah, I may be nice, but don't fuck with me. In fact, I think it's more or less exactly correct. Think about something. A woman comes late on a date. She's your first date. It's your first date. She's like, I'll be there at 1 o'clock. Now, you know what? I always go, listen, you say 1 o'clock. Here in Thailand, it's like, okay, if I'd give them till 1:30. They come after 1:30. It's like, you don't respect my time. So it's like, you know what? How about we make it another time? Goodbye. And then you be late for them. Yeah, I want to meet you at 1 o'clock, and then you show up at 20 after 1. And if they don't want to wait for you, oh, well, see you later. Then it's like, okay, well, too bad. Goodbye. I have never used a dating app. I think brew is better than bro. I think they say that in South Africa. Anyway, I love this. I'm 34. I've had about 12 women in my life, tops. That's it? That's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and not because of the quantity of women that he's had, but, although it's pretty low, but it's embarrassing because he feels the need to fucking bring it up. I've had 12 women in my life, tops. 10 of them were one-time only events. Women my age were reporting numbers to me when I was 27. They slept with over 80 men. I'm sure now, several years later, the counts are over 100 easily. Meanwhile, I'm still under 15 women. Just consider that as a statistical fact that the women who've had over 10 partners are less likely to be mothers or to be in a marriage long term. Do you believe millennial women are going to have a self-replenishing birth rate? No, this is happening to all first world nations. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on how old she is and what kind of carousing she's been doing. You know. I mean, here's the thing. If the guy slept with 500 women and the woman is like, I slept with 20, and the guy's like, you know what, you're a slut, I don't want to be with you. That's a bit fucked up. Oh, God. What is this one? This is MGTOW, the manosphere. What the hell is the manosphere? God. I mean, these people have thought, this is a full-on movement. They have put some serious thought into this. Happiness is an eagle soaring through the air, because that's what it was made to do. It worries not about the wind, because the same wind that creates resistance also gives lift. Okay, so who the fuck is worrying? If men are worrying, why are they worrying? That's the problem. Stop fucking worrying about it. If you look halfway decent, you got a little bit of money in your pocket, and you got just a little bit of game, chances are you're going to bump into some chick who goes, hey, I like the way this guy looks, or I like the way he talks to me. You know what I mean? Maybe one day, we're going to get jiggy with it. But of course, maybe I'm too optimistic nowadays. I don't know. Happiness is a fish swimming in the water, because that's what it was made to do. It worries not about strong currents, because the same turbulent waters that cloud its view also churns up sustenance. Happiness is a tree growing deep roots, because that's what it was made to do. It worries not about its lack of freedom, because the same roots that hold it down also allow it to weather the storm. And happiness is a man with a hard penis that has a good woman there to make sure his physical needs are taken care of. If you are a MGTOW, where's the woman? I don't get it. Is anybody else, like flabbergasted by this whole movement? Because I'm a little older, and I know there's some older people in this stream, Longhorns. But since when do we need to be told to be men and to stand up for ourselves and not allow women to fuck us around? That comes from, oh God, I gotta have the pussy. I gotta have it. Yeah, okay, you gotta have it, but you know what? There are ways around it. Why do you think so many people like Thailand? Men come to Thailand because guess what? They come here. I know a lot of guys who come here, and they come every couple of months or whatever for 2-3 weeks, or a month, whatever it is. They have a great time. They go out and party. They bang chicks to their heart's content, and they go back home. And you know what? If they get laid, they get laid. But they're waiting for that next time to come back to Thailand because they know some Thai chick might appreciate them. And when I was growing up, there was none of this bullshit. There was none of this MGTOW. There was no internet. There was no dating apps. There was no, it was mail a bride. Mail order brides. Anyway, I think this stream is pretty well run its course. I think we've obliterated the manosphere. We're all men here, aside from the perhaps the 3% of women that are lurking or whatever. But I just found something else here. It's an Australian website called Boss Hunting. Men going their own way movement is bitterly jaded, but potentially valid. MGTOW is a group of men who use logic and reason to its nth degree. To my few millennials, these fellows are certainly woke. The MGTOW movement has grown rapidly in recent years as many men across nations continue to become dissatisfied with our rapidly changing Western society. Listen, I'm not happy with Western society. That's why I live in Asia. I mean, now that's why I stayed in Asia. So, other people can move around if they want to also. It just takes a little bit of ingenuity. The system is rigged against males. I will agree with that. With governments and courts of law prioritizing the rights of women. Now, that's fucked up. So some, out of protest for the new world and some out of necessity, have chosen to go their own way. That is, to leave traditional concepts of marriage and female partnership in favor of a life prioritizing the individual. Listen, I've done this. I've done all this, what they're talking about. So maybe that makes me a MGTOW, okay? Except I got married. Gender benefits of being in a relationship. Men, ? Both. Sex, emotional support, status. Women, free dinners. Say what? His money. Say what? Doors held for you. Okay, sometimes. Male servants. No, I'm not a male servant. Attention's on you. That's on the women. You're never wrong. Now, I don't particularly like that mentality of some women. And every once in a while I call my wife out on it. I'm like, hey, you need to understand something. You're fucking wrong. Wake the fuck up. Open your eyes and think about it. You're wrong. Don't fucking come to me and act like you didn't do a goddamn thing wrong. You don't understand it, blah, blah, blah. No, you're wrong. Understand this. You are wrong. Protection, free gifts. Okay, but I get free gifts. I get free dinners. And so does she. Now, I generally hold the door open for her if, in the right situation. She doesn't generally open the door for me. And as far as a servant, listen, she's much more of a servant to me than I am to her. Attention on you. Well, okay, she gets attention, but so do I. Treated like a princess. But see, that's where you don't... What the fuck you treat him like a princess for? Why do you fucking treat him like a princess? Why do you put him on a fucking pedestal? You can put him on a pedestal after they put you on the fucking pedestal too. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm shocked by this shit that I'm reading. Rather than love, men going their own way believe in hypergamy, the theory that women only date and breed with those men who are metaphorically above them in the social hierarchy. Okay, well, it's not only fucking human beings. It's all animals. A lioness goes after a lion with the best fucking mane, who's the biggest, baddest motherfucker. That's what she does. Once this man gives the woman all of his resources and all of his energy, she leaves in hope of finding a stronger man with more resources and more energy, and thus the vicious cycle continues. Oh, get the fuck out of here. See, I gotta draw the line at some of this shit. Once the man gives the woman all his resources. Wait a minute. If the woman is not contributing some resources and something in the relationship, why the fuck are you with her? Seriously, why are you with her? And I'm not talking about, well, I take care of your kids. Jesus Christ. Men going their own way also believes that the courts are against them. Okay, well, I can understand that courts are against men. I do understand, and I think it's wrong. Often siding with the women in divorce. Yes. This perhaps is the strongest argument, as most divorce proceedings end in full or lost custody of children going in the women's favor. As modern divorce rates sit at around 35% of all Australian marriages, MGTOW believes that the endorphin rush is known as love is not worth the gamble. In other words, the juice is not worth... What is it? The juice is not worth the squeeze? Yeah. And if they're working off those numbers, maybe the logistics are right. Most most all of nature, males assume a particular role, that of protector, provider. Females reproduce. But what happens when the system goes too far, when the males are required to provide too many resources, too much security, and the females are not even required to bear children? That's what we're looking at within Western civilization today. And that's fucking horse shit. Find a fucking girl who's willing to work and contribute to the relationship. I mean, it's just fucking, yeah, this is what I mean. They go after the wrong women. It's just what happens. They're going after the wrong women, and I understand their chances may not be good, and some of these guys might be great-looking guys, far better looking than I ever was, and they just are unable to get women. Well, maybe what they're doing is going after the wrong fucking women. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I don't have any of these fucking problems in my relationship. And I wouldn't put up with any of that bullshit. And in fact, I never had it. And anytime, let me tell you something. One time, I had this girl. I will give a little story as we close out here. I was living in California, and I was traveling back and forth to the Netherlands. And I had met this chick, and I was banging her. And, I wasn't in love with her. And I knew, she could be a bit crazy at times. I don't mean like crazy, but she could be a little bit too much. But I was banging her. I was having a good time. I didn't think anything of it. And so I go to the Netherlands. I'm going to fly. And she's, oh, I can't believe you're leaving me. Ooh. So about halfway through, I was like having a hard time getting a hold of her for whatever reason. Wonder why. I call up and I get a hold of her. And it's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night, my time or something. And I call up and some guy answers the phone. I go, hey, can I speak to so-and-so? Her name was Elizabeth. Can I speak to Elizabeth, please? Who's this? I said, who the fuck is this? You called us. Us? I'm her boyfriend. I said, oh, she's got a boyfriend? Well, I was banging her. Okay. Click. I hung up. Now I was like, oh, you fucking bitch. I was like, what the fuck? When I went back, my buddy calls me up, tells me, oh, she's in this club out in Palm Springs. She's there right now. I said, yeah. I said, I'll be there in about 15 minutes. I get in there, I walk in. She's there with this guy. She sees me and she just about shit a brick. And I'm standing there and I'm just thinking to myself, I don't give a fuck about her. I got mine. I stuck it in her. I had my fun with her. She wants to be like that. She ain't worth fucking the shit on the sole of my shoe. So, smiled, walked by. Bye. See you later, honey. Never talked to her again. And my buddy told me, once I moved to Thailand, my buddy has told me she asked a couple of times about, where is he? What's happened to him? I'd really like to see him. What's he doing? Oh, he moved to Thailand. He's fucking long gone, baby. But, you think I put up with that shit? Hell no. See you later, baby. Next. And I will say this. I think there's too many guys who think it's okay to be buddy with a chick. Now, if it's your buddy's old lady or something like that, I understand. If it's just, the sister of your friend, and you see her, yeah, okay, hey, how you doing, honey? Can you say honey? Yeah. Darling. Whatever. Hello. Hello, fat ass. Or whatever it might be. But, there was a time, not long ago, it was a couple years ago, this chick, she was a good-looking chick. And she came to me. I knew her from Starbucks. She came to me. Oh, can I sit down with you? Yeah, I guess. All right, whatever. Hey, how are you? What's happening, honey? Oh, my boyfriend. He left me. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I don't know what it is about him, but I think, and I said, listen, hey. Go talk to your girlfriend about this shit. I don't want to know about it. I don't even fucking know you. I don't want to know about your problems with your boyfriend. Get the fuck out of here. But, of course, there's always guys out there. Oh, baby, it's okay. Let me pat you on the bottom. You're going to be okay, sweetie. And you know what? I'm a good guy, too, so maybe I could hook up with you. Fuck that. If she looked at you like that, she'd be banging you. She would have thought, I don't need my boyfriend because I got this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? So why would you allow them to I got the problem with my boyfriend. He says, he says I'm not sexual enough. He says, that I don't work out enough, and he doesn't understand why I bitch too much when he doesn't come home right when he says. Hey, you know what? Go fucking talk to your buddy about it. Go talk to some chick about it. I don't want to hear about it. I got my own fucking concerns. The last thing I want is some fucking piece of trim coming to me and saying to me, I got problems with my boyfriend. Why do guys allow this shit? You know what I'm saying? It's not okay. It's just not. And the sooner you man up, you you choose the girl. She may say, you know what, I accept and I choose him also. But you know what? You can say no. You can bang him and go, I don't want to get involved with you. I don't want a relationship. And if you don't like it, that's your fucking problem, honey. I didn't force your legs open. Why do you need a girl as a friend? I mean, there are exceptions. But they are rare. What do you really need one for? And here in Thailand, they always want to be friends. Listen, honey, I don't want to be your fucking friend. You don't even want to hear that word. Because once you hear it, forget about it. Forget about it. Most of the time, they may say, I don't want to get serious. I don't want a boyfriend. Okay. That doesn't mean they ain't going to fuck you, though. Right? They might fuck you. They don't want to be your best buddy, and they don't want to be your girlfriend, but they'll fuck you. Now, if you start banging them and they like it, and they actually really do like you, then they may go, we should be more. Don't you think we should be girlfriend and boy? I don't want anybody else. Yeah, but I do. I don't want you. And then they're like, how many guys do that? I think more need to do it. And then there's always the one beautiful thing in Thailand is if you really want a chick here, you just go out and you find one, you give her a little cash, and you say, goodbye, sweetie pie. Or you go to some little soapy, Listen, when I first came here, I'd have these little mini love affairs with chicks. Some of them working, some of them not. And I mean working And, every once in a while I'd be like, oh, man, I'm really bummed. I'm so, you know what? I'm going to go to the soapy. I'm going to go to the massage parlor. I'm not so bummed anymore. It's over with. Oh, no big deal. Next. Some fucking chick at Starbucks the other day said, it was Preo. Said to me something like, I always worry about my boyfriend leaving me. And I was talking to her for a few minutes. I was like, hi, how you doing, And she was she looked all sad. And we were talking about men and women. It was all three of the girls, and I was there alone early in the morning. And she said something one of them said, I don't care. I think that was Tien. And I think Beer just laughed because I think she's got probably, a handful of guys that are always after her. And I think Preo said to me, I worry about my boy. I said, you know what, if he leaves you, next. On to the next one. His problem, not mine. I sure hope not. Think about it, though. I'm not. All I'm doing is saying things that a lot of guys want to say. Most guys don't want to fucking go out with the girl and you know, take him out for an expensive dinner and wine and dine. Listen, honey, we're going to Burger King. Or you know what? I don't want to eat Burger King. We're going to Sizzler because I want to eat something healthy. Right? We're going to Texas fucking chicken. I'll make you a fucking meal. I'll make you a sandwich. You know, I'll make you a turkey sandwich on a nice rye bread. It's very healthy for you. We'll just put mustard on it, no mayonnaise, a little lettuce and tomato. It's very good for you. You come over, I feed you, you know, I got a little Ripple sitting in the back. Give you a little bit. And then, you know, if all works out, and I start looking like Brad Pitt to you, we can have some fun. You know, you start looking like, I don't know. I don't even know any of the women anymore. A young Britney Spears or something like that. Or Lola, what the hell was her name? Gina Lola Brigida. Texan chicken, she's wife material. Oh, God. That's so funny. Anyway, we're going for a rap at the rap god. Oh, fuck that. If you take a chick to the rap god and she makes it through one of those raps, she's probably a keeper. Because, man, even now I think about it and I think, too much freaking sauce, too much lettuce, too much cabbage, bland chicken, just not good. I'm so disappointed in that place. And I'm disappointed in the bagel with condensed milk. But, you know, I haven't had a bagel there forever. And I love bagels. I love that bagels, but I don't want to eat the carbs, you know. I don't want to always be eating the carbs. This morning, I will say this. This morning, my wife woke up early. I roll over. She's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? I go downstairs. She's got my coffee ready. She's got some yogurt, homemade yogurt that she made, and it's tasty. No sugar or anything like that. And she's whipping up this muesli yogurt with strawberry bananas, and what else? Kiwi. She's got it all decked out there. And I said, who's that for, Alex? She goes, oh, it's for you and Alex. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I sat there and ate there. You know, of course, she's like, is it good? Is it good? Yeah, it's good. It's good. Okay. It's fantastic. Thank you. That's what you want, right? Isn't that nice? And she had to go to work. She was going to work. I'm like, I got to stream this morning. I'm very busy today. You know, I do have some stuff to do, but you know, I told her, I got to stream at 9 o'clock. No bagel with condensed milk for me, sweetie. Oh, I know you would never have that. I hate that condensed milk. Honestly, I don't like it. The only thing is the guy with the $15 coffee will put it in there, and he makes it good. But, you know, as far as being good for you, it's definitely not. And as far as going on top of a bagel, it's just fucking ridiculous. So that's a memorable experience. Let me give you some condensed. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway. Well, we're getting there here. Please remember to leave a thumbs up. Please remember to subscribe. Please remember to visit my website. The link is down below, or you can just go to americaninbangkok.com. Please remember to contribute through PayPal because, you know, no money, no honey. Scott thinks no funny and says bye-bye. Try the Cash App using my code, and we'll each get $5 for free. That's true. You use it for the first time you sign up for Cash App, and you put $5 in, and then you give me that $5. You get the $5 back, and I get an extra $5, which is pretty good. Become a sponsor on YouTube. Let me see here. I think probably, I don't know about today, but maybe tomorrow. The $1.99 option is open. So if you want to give a recurring donation and you become a little part of the of the whole channel and the whole, membership kind of thing. That's one way you can do it. Another way is you can, let me see here, you can buy some t-shirts. Yeah, it's still in review. It's going to take a while. It said it might take 24 hours, but that's all right. That is the concrete level. There's the concrete, copper, silver, gold, and platinum levels. So if you want to become a concrete member, that's how you do it. $1.99, of which I get probably 42 cents out of it by the time all's said and done. I should have made it the bamboo level. That would have been good. Can I change that name to the bamboo level? As long as I don't start eating the bamboo furniture, all good. Yeah. Well, those elephants, I started thinking about it, and one thing that I didn't like is that basically those elephants beg for their food. They have to beg. Now, think about something. You're a little elephant running around, happy. Your little tiny little thing. You got your mother there. You can get a little titty milk or whatever anytime you want. Mommy's taking good care of you. You feel safe. You're so happy. And then all of a sudden, a group of people come in. And, they kill your mother, your aunt, your uncle. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? Next thing you know, you're in a truck. They're beating the shit out of you. They're sticking you. And, then you start carrying people around on your back and start begging for sugar cane and bananas. And that's how you live. When, you're out in the middle of the little jungle, the forest. You're a forest elephant in Myanmar, which is where apparently they come from. And I was thinking about that. And then, like 1 minute you're like, hey, yeah, everything's cool, man. Out here just eating and having a good time. Hey, what the fuck? Mom's dead. And then you got chains around you all the time. That's what bothered me about that animal. I'm not saying that animal out in the field was being treated harshly, because I really don't know the whole story. But what I didn't like was that the thing is out there all alone in the heat, and there's no water. It couldn't reach the water, and it's got that chain around its ankle. And I'm just thinking, the guy had the balls to tell me that the thing is obstinate. Like, if I lock that guy up and put him in a dungeon and chain him to a wall, and made him beg for food, would he be obstinate? Rest my case, Anyway. All right, so if you've got a topic, please don't make it about the CCP or politics or the fucking virus, because I don't want to talk about those things. I really don't. We could talk about music, TV, women, titties, men, and how men are like gorillas or whatever. However you want to put it. Doesn't matter to me. Okay? You want a topic? Put it in the chat. Put it down in the comments below. And that'll be fine. That should work. Imagine being an elephant and the best thing about you is your trunk. You need their own habitat. Well, yeah, this is the other thing, is that, when you have a gorilla that's in a concrete enclosure and nobody wants to, the owner doesn't want to let him out, I think he's overlooking the fact that gorilla doesn't belong in that environment. I don't care how he skews it or whatever. Give it to a freaking zoo that has a place for gorillas to run around, jump around, sit around, and eat and shit all they want. Well, we can talk about bagels if you want. put them in a place where they belong. When I see those elephants, I just think to myself, all these elephants have been standing here for years. And years and years and years. Imagine how pissed off they get. If it was me, if I was an elephant, forget about it. I'd end up dead. Somebody would shoot me. They'd come after me. I'd get angry. And, it happens once in a while. I saw the thing about the guy in Hawaii who, he was a very well-known trainer. He had treated that elephant all its life. He treated it very well. The thing is you can be nice to the elephant. The elephant don't give a shit. He likes you because you're nice when he doesn't have any options. But for whatever reason, if he gets pissed off enough, he's in musk. I'm saying, it could be a she. But if it's a he and he's in musk, and he decides, I want to get the fuck out of here. He sees an opportunity, boom, he breaks the chain. Next thing you know, he's trampling people, and he's like, hey, there's that motherfucker. He's been nice to me, but he's the guy who feeds me and makes sure that I stay chained all the time. Why do we not do anything about the cruelty to the people? Well, we do. That's the thing. We do do things. And people give money to organizations to help kids and that kind of stuff. And, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. But this particular topic is about the wildlife, the captive wildlife, or yesterday's topic is about the wildlife and how it's treated. And perhaps another topic is, what is going to become of wildlife and because of the population explosion. Because one day, if the population keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going, there's not going to be enough room, and the animals are going to suffer. They're already suffering. Listen, I don't mean to go back to the topic of yesterday. Because, we got MGTOW. That's a big topic right there. Listen, let me tell you something. MGTOW is not more important to the captive wildlife. I'm sorry. Be a fucking man. That's what it's all about. Be a man, make smart fucking decisions. I don't always make smart decisions. But you know what? When it comes to women, either I've been lucky or I pulled out when I should have pulled out. I got out when I should have got out. And I got in when I should have got in. It's not rocket science. Okay? But when it comes to these animals, and the one that I always talk about, is the lions. Because it's so shocking. There's only like a couple hundred lions left in India. Indian lions, Gur lions. They're in the Gur forest. And there's only like 2,500, 3,000, maybe 3,500 male breeding age lions in the wild. And, let's not forget about the rhinos and all these other animals and, the tigers in Thailand. And, that population is up a little bit. But, if there's one thing I would like to really do, honestly, I would like to, that's one reason I'd like to go to Africa. Forget the Congo or Central African Republic, unless it related to maybe animals. Because there are still a lot of animals in those regions. But anywhere where the population of, say, lions is very, very high, elephants is very, very high, rhinos is very, very high. I'd like to go and photograph that and maybe, have somebody help me. I've always wanted to do this. I wanted to do this for years, and it's always been too damn expensive. So if I can ever figure it out, I will do that. One day, maybe I will do that. And I'm trying. But, sometimes things take time. Well, there are national parks here. I think part of the problem may be, that in all parts of the world there is corruption. There are people who are in dire need of funds. And, I got to see if I can find this, and I'll put this in the link. Put this in the chat. Let me see here. And I put this in a link a long time ago. This is it right here. I got it. I don't think the guy's in Thailand anymore, but he used to be based out of Thailand. You hit the nail right on the head, Longhorns. Which that's another subject that we'll talk about in the near future is happiness. These concepts, that are not, they're intangible. This right here, this YouTube link that I just put in is about the wildlife trade. This is done quite some. It was done. This video is 2013. I don't know when it was made. If it was made at that time, maybe it was made. But it's been a number of years. He finally did get the book out, but very, very good. It's a 20-minute piece. He's a good photographer. Seems like a nice guy. I don't know him. He used to have a studio, and I was going to go to a studio once, and I just went, What is this? You believe those animal stats. You pick and choose your stat loyalty. I don't know what you're talking about. What stats? Materialism makes you happy. At least your students love you, Stephen Monash. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Are you talking about stat loyalty with regards to MGTOW? You talking about wildlife? What are you talking about? Got no idea what you're talking about, buddy. Can you be more specific? Can you use the specific terminology? Let's see here. Love you too much. Yeah, where's Gennaro? No barista, and Gennaro's not a happy man. Andrew McMullen, I don't know if there's a lag or what the deal is, but, you make these comments, you come in, you make a comment. Why don't you explain yourself a little bit? And at least that way, maybe your comment has some more validity. Otherwise, you're just some guy coming in here spewing nonsense. Which, that wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, people do it all the time. Anyway, unless we have a comment from Mr. Andrew, I think it's, like I said, this stream has run its course quite some time ago. Please don't forget, subscribe, leave a thumbs up, visit my website, check everything. I'm going to start blogging again, just once a week or so, because I think it's important. I need to write. I need to keep my mind working, Yeah, put a link. Put a link. Where's the link? Where's the link, man? You didn't put a link. It must not be valid. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's funny that, a guy will come in and do something like that, make a comment like that, and then he just never comments again. It's like, the fuck? He adopted a pretty goat. Put some lipstick on it. You know what that makes it? A fucking goat with lipstick on. Nothing else. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure as always. Don't forget about the t-shirts, please. That's just like all these little things, the t-shirt, the Amazon, my books, they all add up. The little $1.99 sponsorship, all that shit adds up, and it makes me be able to get the fuck out of here and go somewhere and show you something kind of interesting, as opposed to you guys just looking at my handsome face. Jerking the gherkins. Gennaro's at Starbucks with his laptop doing a live chat. Yeah, he's trying to get in tight with all the girls. Scott's been bad mouthing you. You gotta love me, honey. Don't believe him. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you very much. Choke D, Joke and My. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Take a look at that link that I put in there, documenting Asia's illegal animal trade. Pretty interesting to see just how things are done and, why things are done by the people who do these things, Very interesting, but anyway, that's all I have. So until next time, let's talk about food next. Okay, we can do that. Imitation is the best form of flattery. Okay, food sounds good. We can talk about food. Food and beer. Okay. I'll put that into practice tomorrow. 9 a.m. Food and beer. Tell me about it. Let me know what you think about food and beer. What are your favorite foods, beers? What's the worst food you've ever had? Besides the food that wrap that I had the other day, which I'm not going to name the place. Crap poem. Thank you very much. And how many times am I going to say goodbye? All right. So take care of yourselves. Be good to one another and all that good kind of stuff. And hey, if you feel the need to go MGTOW and go your own way that way, you need that organization. More power to you, man. Whatever floats your boat. I still believe there are some good women out there. There are some bad ones out there, but that's why you make the choice and you make sure that they're contributing something to your life, something positive. Like they will be good to you. They will be a good mother. They will be somebody who will help in the household in many different ways. You gotta think about these things. Not just she was a fine piece of ass. You want that too, but you want it all. They can have it all, and so can you. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. Where's the music? Cut to the music.